Welcome, welcome, welcome to another episode of
Talk, Heal, Evolve. I'm Stephanie.
And I'm Ebony.
Ebony, let's take them on a journey of healing and self-discovery.
Yes.
Grab your seat.
Wrap yourself in a cozy blanket.
Don't forget that journal.
And prepare to dive into conversations that nurture the soul.
I think it's time to create intentional space for growth and evolution.
Girl, you ready?
Let's get into it. Welcome to another episode of Talk, Heal, Evolve. I'm your girl Stephanie.
Ebony.
And today we have another episode. This is our first episode on our random chat series. So I'm very excited about this.
Yeah.
Because I don't know where this is going, ladies and gentlemen.
Neither do I, but I feel like it's going to be exciting.
I hope so.
Jesus Christ, not I hope so. Lord Jesus.
It's going to be great. Our discussions are always great.
They're always.
So our random chat series is just something that came up through conversation.
In conversation, yeah.
That we just want to hash through and talk about. So
absolutely.
We don't know where it's going. No preparation involved.
Well, let's get into it.
Yeah, let's get into it.
Okay, so I have recently started communicating with the opposite sex. So I have all the questions for my married friend of 10 years, period. So I don't know. We were talking last night on the phone and I just was asking questions. Now, we've talked about this in passing before in other conversations, just about like alpha males. And, you know, I had this idea like, oh my God, I really want this alpha male. And then I seen an alpha male up close and personal, or what's considered to be. And I was like, oh no.
Yeah, it's so funny because I'm going to go all the way back to the conversation.
Jesus.
Because when we first started talking about relationship and, you know, getting a little deeper, yes, I am. So we started talking a little deeper and she's like, yeah, I'm attracted to alpha males. And just seeing Ebony and how she moves, I didn't know if that was the right type for her. But I was like, okay, because, you know, you let people talk through their things. And so she was like, well, tell me about Abdul. And I was telling her, and she was like, so you're okay with a beta male? And I said, yep. Even though I don't think he's a beta male, we'll get into that. But I was like, yep, because I can't see an alpha male for me, for the type of personalities I think that we have. I just don't think that's right for us.
Let's get into what personalities you think we have.
That I think we have.
Yes.
Okay, so I think that we are strong-minded. I think that we are opinionated, educated, researched, and all the qualities of a strong individual. I won't even just say strong woman, because strong women are many. Right? But I think as a strong, well-rounded individuals, we have a lot of experiences, world experiences, and I just don't think that those are for everyone. You know? Even other women. We're not for everybody. Yeah. And that's okay.
It is okay. Totally and completely.
Yeah. So let's get into let me hear what you think. Do you agree or anything to add?
I agree. I think that I've been going in stages of just my transformation, my growth, and my everything of who I'm becoming and still growing into. Yeah. So I think at one point I was like, yeah, I can be submissive, because this word is just, you know, I was so against it at first. Like, what do you mean submit? Yeah. Like, I want to do all the things and I have all these dreams and, you know what I mean? Like, I'm going to be this big person. So I just assumed that my person would also be like this big person. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. And so I think for a minute I was like, yeah, alpha male. And if I have to submit, I'll submit. But then I think that I stopped listening to what society was saying. But I see the beauty in submission just in a different way. Yeah. Just in the and I've learned this in many different areas with dance, going even to the ballroom dancing and the salsa dancing, allowing the man to lead. And one of the things that my instructor told me on the first 1 or 2 classes was that I'm literally here to lead you, to make you look good. That's all the male dancer is there to do. We lead you, but the show is yours. Yeah. And I was just thinking, it's like that in life. Yeah. Because I'm a representation of you. You know what I'm saying? But you're doing all the things to make your family look good. Yeah. Because your family represents who you are. You know what I mean? So when he said that to me, it kind of flipped the switch of it. And some of the alpha males that I started coming in contact with was too much of like, the way I describe it is like, beat on my chest, hear me roar. Like, I am lion or I am king, hear me roar. And it's like, calm down.
Right.
It doesn't have to be that all the time. And I think like a lot of the times that's mostly ego.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, over the past couple of months, I've been learning.
Yeah.
I've been learning.
That's
so
good.
Yeah.
Well, let's get into some definitions so that we can kind of understand.
Yes.
What you found, what you think.
Yes, because guys, I had no idea what any of these terms mean. Never have actually looked up any of these terms. So me and Stephanie, the one thing we did discuss, because it wasn't much, she was like, let's just roll. And I'm like, all right, we're going to get into it. So I looked up the definitions of alpha male, a beta male, a sigma male, and a gamma male. I just wrote down the words that stood out because it really wasn't much of a definition. It was just kind of like, this is who they are.
Right.
So on Google, alpha male came up to be dominant and domineering, which in my mind, it completely went negative. Because to be dominant is to have like dominion over someone.
Yeah.
And for me, it's like, well, who wants that though?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. So when I think of alpha male, I do think of a lot of beat on my chest, but I also think it's a lot of like showmanship, like, you know, like I'm out here, like who's gonna challenge me, kind of deal. And so what I wrote down for alpha male is confidence.
Okay.
They're very confident. They're very assertive, right? Because who's gonna beat me? So they're going after all the things they want, all the successes, all the things. Competitive.
Okay.
Which they are. And then the overall goal is social dominance and success, right? So success over everything. Success over relationship.
Okay.
Success over love. Success in every area.
Okay.
Even when it comes to intimacy, I'm the top dog. Like I'm the center of attention. Like
center of
I get mine.
Okay.
Help me get mine. Help me. Not even help me, but I'm going to get mine, you know?
Okay.
And so that's what I see as alpha male.
Okay. So is it center of attention as and it's so crazy because I want to ask all the questions, but then also taking into account like society and how it's defined it in a way. Okay. Right? So how does an alpha male look in love?
So again,
in your opinion, because this is all opinion based, this
course,
conversation right now.
He doesn't look in love.
Okay.
And what I mean by that is love is a thing, but it's not of importance to them, right?
Okay.
Importance is the success of anything. So for my relationship, it's what I want you to do. I need a submissive wife. She has to be strong though, because in order to take and handle me, she has to have some sense of strength in a female version, quote unquote, of strength, right?
Okay.
So I need you to serve me. I need you to do the things that you need to do to prepare for me so I'm successful.
Right. So then it's all about them.
Correct. It's very self-centered.
Okay.
And if my relationship is getting in the way of my success, whatever area that is, then it has to go or take a back seat to that. And whoever I'm with needs to understand that. So I find that the women who go for alpha males are very submissive in all the sense of the word, right? Docile. They are strong because they take a lot, but they're just there to admire and to serve.
Yeah. So it's interesting because when you describe it, and just even when I think about it, and even how they show up in movies and cinema and TV and stuff like that, it's like, is an alpha male a whole? Is he whole?
I don't think they are.
Right.
Because I think in order for you to want to be the best, like you have to be the best at everything. Right? In order for you to be so competitive, in order for you to want
training.
to be the center of attention, like there's some void that you need to fill, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Right? So you look all confident but who hurt you? Like, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
When do you rest?
Okay, Stephanie. Okay, Steph.
That's why I couldn't see that for you. You know what I'm saying? Because while you always talked about, well, the revamped Ebony, right?
Yeah.
Has always talked about wanting to rest in your softness.
Yeah.
But yet you have an innate thing that you have drive, that you want more in life, you know? And so for y'all to be head to head all the time.
Yeah.
And regardless of, nobody wants that. We talked about having more in your own home, and nobody wants that.
Right.
You know? And so I think that person would not fit you.
Yeah, I agree. Ooh, child, it's getting so juicy. Okay.
I cannot.
So then I looked up beta male, and it said passive or subservient, which I was like,
right. Yeah, I don't know.
So what are your thoughts on that?
So beta male, and a lot of my thoughts, I'm going to preface all of my statements with, a lot of my thoughts go back to me reading books, right?
Right.
And I think that the reason I can even associate or attribute these characteristics to different types of people is because I've read these, like, I keep forgetting, like werewolf novels, these romance novels.
Okay.
And they all go in hierarchy, right?
Okay.
So even how you identify soulmates, all these ideas and concepts kind of have been refined by these books, which I should go read some. Anyway, so for beta male, I don't see that. And I've never seen that.
Okay.
So what I have written down is nurturing, which maybe maybe confused with some of the vocabulary that you use. Cooperative, strong relationships over social dominance. So they like to build relationships. They are cooperative. They work well in tandem with other people because your beta is always supporting the alpha, right? And everything they need, they're right there. So more supportive and nurturing than a weak-minded or charactered person.
Right. But you also have to have so much strength and intelligence to be like the right hand to the alpha.
Oh, absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely.
So it's like you're not just...
No.
You know what I mean?
No, you're dependable and you work well with others because alphas are going to ruffle feathers, right? And
regardless.
Right. And so they're going to end up with two types of people in their path, right? The people who they've hurt and the people who are pissed, right? And so either people are trying to get at him now or people are just, saddened by them. And so as your beta, you have to feel those two types of people. So you have to be intuitive and you have to pay attention and be able to nurture people and then calm other people.
Interesting. Okay. All right. So then I looked up Sigma males. And this gave more of a definition than the first two. And it said Sigma males are lone wolves, respected for their abilities and down-to-earth confidence. Most likely people contribute to them to be introverted straight males.
Yeah.
And I thought the introverted straight male is like, I get that. I can see that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love me a Sigma male.
Okay.
Shout out to my husband. And so what I wrote down for Sigma is they live on their own terms. Solitude and independence is more important. Individuality over social expectations. Intuition, they're self-sufficient. And then no gender roles.
I can see that. I can see that.
And I think that Sigma has a good balance between their feminine and masculine side because they're good with themselves. Like so whatever you think, that's okay. I'm still good by myself. You know what I mean?
Right. It's like I was good before you got here.
Exactly.
I'll be great with you.
Exactly.
But if you're not here, I'll still be good either way.
Right. And so it's a healthy balance. You
Yeah.
know? And so they don't mind stepping in where they need to step in or something because they're not going to feel no type of way based on your judgment.
Yeah.
And just being self-sufficient is also important.
Yeah.
And then they're a good companion because they can be strong in wherever you're weak.
Yeah.
And then obviously they're going to have some what are perceived to be weaknesses and then you step in for that.
Nice. Ooh, this is going to get so good. I feel like I need to write my stuff down so I can ask later. The last one that I researched was the gamma male. And it said intelligent, romantic, and empathetic. But they're also considered the most intriguing and troublesome personality type.
Yes.
says gamma is the life of the party, loud and bombastic. What? And they're consistently or constantly on the move and can create powerful friendships wherever they go.
Yes. So gamma males have traits of alpha and beta males. For me, and they need attention and validation. So that's where that bombastic and life of the party comes into play. And if they don't get what they crave, they can become manipulative and deceptive to get that. And then they struggle to build relationships because they have a sort of that need for attention, and so whatever is necessary. And so sometimes that is just not a dependable personality, and so the relationships that you build are not as strong as they could or should be.
Interesting. Okay, so I love all of this.
Yeah.
I think my question is now, when in society, because we're so masculine energy, feminine energy, and we've discussed on a podcast already, like there's a balance to have, right? Then we're in Atlanta.
Yeah.
And we have all the questions because nowadays you just have to ask all the questions.
Yeah.
When is it too much femininity in a man? Even though he's straight.
Yeah.
But then he just has characteristics of, like, is there a such thing? I mean, there is, obviously. You can have too much femininity, then you're not balanced, right? But then what does too much femininity even looks like? You know what I mean?
Yeah. So I don't think that there's a such thing, right?
As too much?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I feel like there is a need for all of the characteristics that we see, right? And in the Caribbean, when we say there's a bun for every cheese, so every man is going to have a compliment to women, because there are some women who are just way too masculine.
Yeah.
So that fits them, you know? But for me, I would say too feminine is like there's no ground for you to stand on. You know what I'm saying?
In
like
what way?
I could just roll right over you. Like,
oh,
you know what I'm
nobody
saying?
wants that. Yeah.
No backbone really, because you're just soft and docile. Like you're just, you know? I also think it's very unattractive to me to be too sensitive. You know what I mean? I think that having a sensitive side is important because you have to be empathetic to people and situations and things like that. But being too, like, I can't say nothing to you. That is
that's too much.
That's too much. You know.
Sure.
I think when we go back to femininity, I'm going back to gender roles now. I think the nail polish is a lot for me.
For sure.
You know, the things that are really equated to feminine characteristics.
Yeah.
That's too much for me.
Yeah.
Not for some people again, and that's okay. But
yeah. Yeah, because in society, I mean, you have the man purses.
Yeah.
You have the nail polish. I mean, shit, Young Jock had the perm.
Right. That's a lot for me.
It's a lot.
You know, and I am all for, like, whatever you do, if it don't affect me, do
right,
you, boo.
Right,
but
do you, for sure.
But
for me and mine.
Yeah, it's just too much. You know what I'm saying? Because then I start to look at you a certain way.
Yeah.
And that maybe has something to do with me, but at the same time, I don't want that for me.
Yeah.
I want you to feel, I want to feel like I can be protected in any way.
Yeah.
And to me, a nigga with a nail polish is not really going to protect me like I need to be protected. So
for all of those who have nail polish, do not come in our comments.
Listen, I already said do you. It's just not for me.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. No,
so
I get that.
I need to feel like I'm good in situations.
Yeah. Yeah, I get that. Interesting. Okay, so knowing your friend sitting over here on the couch, which type, male type, do you think would best suit me?
Best suit you, I would say, beta male.
Really?
Yeah, I would say beta male.
Okay, so that means, okay, so we doing this real raw right now.
Yeah.
So they get all of the everything. That's interesting. Okay, so why do you say that?
What you say? That means what?
That means, well, I want to hear why you say that first.
I'm not going to forget what I'm going to say. What you say, that means what? Because you're going to forget.
No. That means that you see a lot of masculinity in me.
I do.
Wow.
I do. But I say beta male because the person is going to have to be nurturing, right?
For sure.
Because I know that you talked about being soft and everything, but there are things in your life that you've dealt with.
For sure.
That you need nurturing. You need a nurturing partner.
Yes.
Right? And there are experiences in your life that these same things have made you hard-shelled.
I'm working on it.
No, and it's just a thing, right?
Yeah.
And so even though you're working through things and you work on things, it's gonna be there. You will learn to control it.
Yeah, cope with it better.
Right.
Know how to deal with it.
Exactly. But it's going to be there.
It's always
which kind of sucks sometimes, but in instances it's good because it keeps you on your toes, right?
Yeah.
And so you're gonna need somebody who can work around that. If it's too like, why are you challenging me, kind of that thing, it will never work.
Really?
Correct. I think you also need somebody with cooperative qualities because, and we talked about that with a beta male, because there you are goal oriented, and then you have a strong mindset of what you want your family structure to look like, right? So having a partner that can step in, having a partner who can work with you to make these things happen, I think is going to be super important. And then also building strong relationships. I think that you have an authenticity about you that is attractive to people, but it needs to be more than just attractive, right?
Okay.
You need to meet me in my authenticity with yours.
Yeah.
And the relationship needs to be built off of that.
Yeah.
Not the things that we have in common, not in the things that we like to do, not in the newness. It has to be from that authentic level of who we are, and then building on that. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Because I would say a gamma, right? Because I
would not say a gamma, but go ahead.
I would say gamma because the characteristics there would be
a little bit of this, a little bit of that.
Yeah, a little bit of this, a little bit of that. In terms of alpha and beta characteristics. Yeah. And then also life of the party.
I don't like that.
I think you would do well with that. I know what you think you don't like, but you asked me.
Right.
So
this is true.
Life of the party. I think that you do well with someone who will come in and command the room, who can work the room to get the best things in that room that we need to take home and go deal with it, deal with that. But not building strong relationships is not something that I think would work for you
at all.
And then the manipulation I don't think would work well for anyone.
Right.
You know what I mean?
So it's interesting because I just go based off of all of my past loves. And one of the things is they've all been leaders, right? In their own right, in their own field. I've always had career-driven men.
Yeah.
In relationships, always. And always at the height of their career. So, or like the height of their career, but dreamers and wanting to step out into entrepreneurship and then really doing it.
Yeah.
So, like my marriage, he was like quiet, okay?
Yeah.
He was quiet, but he could walk in a room and people would just have so much respect for him.
Yeah.
But he was just a man of not too many words.
Yeah.
He didn't have much to say, but when he said something, it was what it was.
Yeah.
But even in instances like, I invite one of my homegirls over and my sister over. We're getting ready to go out one night, right? And we're getting ready to go out with his friends. So me and my homegirl, we in the room getting dressed or whatever, and I walk out, and my ex-husband was like, "Where are you going with that on?" I instantly was just like, I'm not going to pick this battle today.
Yeah.
I instantly went in there and was like, he was like, because we're not going anywhere with you dressed like that.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay. So my homegirl looked at me and she was like, you're really about to change? And I said, yes, because I have a man. I have a man and I wanted to stay that way.
Yeah.
So I feel like I pick and choose. Now, granted, I had so much masculinity in that marriage. Yeah. I had true, the hurt was all on me.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
I was not in no type of transformation. I didn't know who I was at the time. Like I had so much, and the beauty in it is I've been able to pick up the phone, apologize for like my part in it, and him doing the same as well, and just realizing like what we brought to that moment, to that table, or that marriage at the time, regardless of the outcome, we still seen beauty in the evolution of who we were. You know what I mean? I can never, regardless of what we've been through, and we've been through some things, I can never say or talk about him in a bad way because he showed me so much in life. You know what I'm saying? Okay, so that's one. Then, like, my last relationship, he was such a leader, but he was also very caring. It had been a minute for a relationship for me, and at the time I was in therapy, and I was getting all the work and homework to do. Okay, I was just in the midst of realizing new triggers for me and learning how to deal with those triggers, right? I remember one time we went on vacation, and this was like when we first started dating, and we went on vacation, and I didn't get my way, and I didn't like that. So I was like, I'm ready to go. I packed all my bags, like the most, just doing the absolute most. And he was like, okay, I get it, but there's something going on here that's more than just this moment.
Yes.
More than, and you don't have people who really want to get down to the root of it.
Yeah.
But he was just so thoughtful to just like, let's really talk about it. Like, what's there for you right now?
Yeah.
And I mean, he has a PhD. He's like psychology. He really wants to know like what are you thinking? Like what's in there for you so that I can understand.
Yeah.
Because without understanding, how can we solve the problem? You know what I'm saying? Or the challenge. And I remember he talked me through that trigger, honey. And then we had a great time.
Right.
But it took, and I loved him for that because there's not too many people that are willing to be with you in those moments. Some people like, child, nobody got time for this.
Right.
Ain't nobody got time for this. Okay. So now I'm having grace for a lot of people and having grace for myself now in dating. And so I've come across like the hear me roar alpha, right? And then realizing that it's a little hurt that's still in there for that person.
Yeah.
And it's like, I don't need your ego. Like, I just don't need it. You don't have to be that way with me. I'm such a safe space.
Yeah.
I'll never throw your story back in your face.
Yeah.
I will be here with you in this moment. Whatever you share is between, you know what I mean? Like, so the ego to me just doesn't make sense. Not with me. I don't care if you do it with other people, but I feel like the ego is a wall. You know what I mean? Like, for people not to see who we really are. And I just don't operate like that. I am completely who I am. And if in a moment I'm not who I am, then I feel like I'll recognize it for myself and deal with it in that moment. Yeah. But for me, it's like you said, it's important for me to show up authentic.
Yeah.
We just don't do it nowadays. Like, everybody has a representative. Everybody wants to show up as the best selves. Everybody's life is amazing. And thanks to social media,
girl, bye.
Listen, okay?
Yeah.
You can really be whoever it is you want to be. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So now I'm like, I met this guy. He's nice. Yeah. And he's a teacher, right? So he has all of the like gentle kindness that, girl, when we write down on our list, these are the characteristics that we want in a person. Yeah. But sometimes we haven't really seen it before. Yeah. And then it's like, okay, we're questioning. So what does that mean? Yeah. But I guess like, even when because you can still be a leader and a teacher at the same time. To be a teacher or someone who is even over youth in a way, you have to have certain sides. Patience. Yeah. You have to be able to be nurturing because these are children. Right. Like, I don't think I can see an alpha male teaching a child.
Absolutely
It'll
not.
be like, get it together. Don't cry. You know what I mean?
Absolutely not. And when you first told me the occupation, I was like, I can see that. And
totally did. I was like, what?
And I could totally see that because not just, okay, so teachers have to have something in them, and the real ones. Not the
The
ones out
ones
there
that
for
love
a
it.
check.
Right.
Which I don't even know why you would even do that. But anyway, teachers have to have something in them. But male teachers have something special in them. Mm-hmm. And it's really, teaching is a gift back to the world. I don't care what level you're at. Mm-hmm. It's a gift back to the world, but especially when you're teaching young children. Yeah. And there's a patience that has to be there because these are people who don't know themselves. So their reactions are not warranted almost in any situation. Yeah. So being able to deal with another adult is just going to be even easier, right? Because there is a sense of reason there. And I think that that's something that you would benefit from. Mm. So I can totally see teacher for you.
Interesting.
Yeah.
When she said that to me in the car, I was like, I mean, what does that mean? Right. What are you saying? Okay.
Right. Yeah, no. And then I think that teachers are leaders, right? They're leading hundreds of small humans.
That is true.
Okay?
That is true.
And it's their job is so much, again, harder because these are hundreds of small humans that don't know what the fuck is going on. They don't know themselves. They're dealing with traumas from home, from other peers, and they don't even know how to deal with that. So they're taking that out on you, and you have to be able to corral them all, calm them down, love on them, give them things that they aren't getting from home or here. Mm-hmm. And like, you have 11 children.
I never thought about it like that, but that is very, very true. So I guess when I think of beta male, I think of it in a way, and this is why I'm turned off with it. Like, I'm like, not for me. Because I think of the beta male playing the feminine role in a relationship. Mm-hmm. Like the role of the woman. Mm-hmm. Like the stay-at-home dad. Mm-hmm. And that I cannot do.
Why not?
Say what now?
Why not?
It wouldn't make me moist.
Really?
It wouldn't.
Because what?
Because you still need to, like, I still love a man's man. Mm-hmm. And I still want you to be the head of the household.
Okay. I'm still confused.
Why is that confusing?
Why? Because why can't stay-at-home dad be a man's man? What makes him not a man's man, or what makes him not head of household?
So I guess when you're talking to a woman and she's like, I'm a stay-at-home mom. Yeah. We assume that all you do is take care of the children, right? I can't be with a man that his sole job is to take care of our children. Mm-hmm. So you're not protecting and providing for me at that point. Okay. Because how else are you protecting and providing? Yeah. I guess you're protecting and providing for the kids, but really I'm providing if I'm the head of the household. Yeah. I just do not think that I could be the head of the household and still have respect for the man. And that's just me.
It's so funny because honestly, I can't wait to retire my husband. I can't wait till I make enough money. I'll be like, I'll pay everything.
Really?
Yeah, I can't wait. Maybe because I'm not as maternal, I think. Okay. Or domestic, maybe. But I can't wait to just have him not worry about nothing so that I can go out and do the things.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah,
because I think that the misconception with stay-at-home moms is that all they're doing is taking care of the kids. Yeah. When that is a hard thing. I mean, not it is. It's when they get to high school and those kind of levels, but like taking care of your home so that when you do come back, it's just like, what can we talk about? Instead of like having the grind of things. Yeah. I'm not interested in that. I'm not interested in cooking. I'm not interested in laundry. I'm not interested in any of that shit. Like, I don't want to do nothing. I want to come home to clean children and hug on them and love on them and tell you all about my day.
Wow. And you know what's interesting is because Stephanie, and I just have to say this, because I feel like our backgrounds play a role, but our experiences and our perceptions play a role, right, also. And so I want them to know, like, you grew up with both of your parents, right? Yeah. So it's even harder for me to hear that from, Stephanie has a great relationship with her dad.
I do. I love you, boo.
Like, her dad is amazing, right? So to hear that, it's like, and again, society standards, and then creating our own foundations and perceptions of things, right? So I guess I'm speaking in the future, right? Because I've never had to be the head of, like, my first marriage. She took care of everything. I did not have to really adult until divorce.
Right.
And that was hard.
I can imagine.
That was hard.
Yeah.
So I just would have expected to hear that from someone who didn't grow up with both parents. Or someone who didn't really grow up with their dad.
Well, maybe because my relationship is so strong. And that's not to say that when I retire him, because I will, thank you, Jesus, when I retire him, that he's not going to do anything. Right. I mean, he'll do his side. Well, I'm hoping he'll do his, T-shirt thing or whatever he decides to do. Yeah. So that there's still an income. But I do want to be able to go out there and do, because I love to work. Yeah. And so, again, it probably goes back to how I grew up, because I used to go on to jobs with my father all the time. Yeah. Like, anytime I'm not in school, I'm going to work. Like, yeah. I don't want to do no daycare. I don't want to go to grandma's house. I don't want to do nothing. I want to go to work with him. And so just being out there, I love working with my hands. And so I don't always get the opportunity to do so freely. Yeah. Because I got kids. So if I didn't have those things, and he loves to cook and he likes to do laundry. Like, I hate that shit. Yeah. When we first met, I was sending my laundry out. Okay? It would come back, they ring the bell, all that shit is folded, packed away neatly, and he's like, yeah, we're not doing that. And so that's your thing. And so those are things I just don't like to do. Yeah. So to have somebody who loves to do that.
Yeah, it works for you. Yeah, right? Yeah. So I for me, like, and I guess there's a now me and a future me, right? Yeah. Because how I foresee myself in the future, busy businesswoman. You know what I mean?
So, okay. So, busy businesswoman.
Hold on now. Let me get it out. Like, but I love to cook. Mm-hmm. So, I really don't want my man to know how to cook. What? I really don't. Because that's my superpower. And I want to be able to do that for you. Like, I love that. I love that. Now, laundry, I'll do laundry. Mm-hmm. But I do, like, think that it doesn't make or break my relationship, because whether I do it or he does it, we'll be in a place where we can hire somebody if needed to do it. You know what I mean? But I just think that I would prefer, and again, this can change. Mm-hmm. You know, you never know until you know. Right. But I would prefer both of us to bring in high earning incomes.
For what purpose?
Because how do we actually get out of how do we get to generational wealth with only one person doing it in the household?
Not having a limited mindset.
True.
Because your speaking engagements and your books and seasonings.
Please speak it, because that's what's next.
It will be a multi-million-dollar business. So who's to say that what you make is not high enough to provide for your children, right? And so I think just not putting limits on yourself would be more than enough. And then your superpower is not just cooking.
No, but that's my creative. Correct. Yeah.
But how would you feel if you came from off the road and the kids is at Nana house and your man made you a meal? Ebony, you cook for us all the time.
Love it. And I would appreciate it.
This is what I'm saying.
Because it's the thought. It's the thought that you even... Yeah.
Exactly. So just even saying that, I think you limit yourself. Yeah. I want my man to do all of the things. Even the things that I can do. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. Because if you build me a cabinet, I'd be like, listen, oh my God.
Listen, I love a man that can work with his hands. Yes. Okay? And I've seen that in, like, my brothers. They can build, okay? I mean, my brother took a house that looked like nothing and made it look like magnificent, okay? He went on he didn't know how to build. A little bit, but like he went on YouTube, learned all of the things and put it together, and you walk in there and you was like, wait a second, this was this and now it's this?
Exactly.
Love that. You know what I'm saying?
So just removing the limitations from things and from people, I think will see who you really need.
Okay, guys. Well, this was a great conversation, a great chat with Stephanie and Ebony. I hope y'all enjoyed this, because this was definitely like a little breakthrough now. Give it some time and we'll be back with another. We'll be back with another one. That was good. Okay. Well, guys, please remember to like, comment, and subscribe. And let us know your thoughts on this episode, what you thought about it. How do you feel? What's your opinion?
Yeah.
Again, these are just our perspectives and our opinions.
For sure.
And
but I would like to know if anybody out there sees himself with the alpha male. I want to hear about you and your personalities. Let us know in the comments because I'm dying to see.
Absolutely. Yeah. All right. Until next time, guys. Bye.